Hey guys, it's Chaotic Soul, and welcome to my solo Nex guide in GANO. First of all, thank you very much for your support. Hopefully this guide will help some of you get your first successful Nex solo kill, or become a better Nexer. I realize not everyone already has a lot of money on RuneScape for expensive gears, which is why I do not use expensive gear in this kill. I use full GANO with the Virtus 1 and Virtus book. My weapons are fairly expensive though. The spell I use is Air Wave, not Air Surge. And also I use the vulnerability spell, which increases damage Nex receives by 10% for 1 minute. This will come in handy on Blood phase, since that is the phase most people have a hard time soloing. Before you enter the next room, be sure you bonfire boost for some extra life points. Also, for first timers, a scrimshaw of elements is a must. This helps you deal more damage throughout the whole kill. If you have an aura, use it, but it is not required. I usually use the Vampirism aura, which helps me save some food. Also, to solo Nex, you don't even have to have Turmoil. Regular prayers with an Amulet of Zealots is better than Turmoil for DPS. You can get an Amulet of Zealots from Daemonheim for about 45,000 tokens. This boosts single boost prayers even more, making them better DPS than Turmoil prayers. So throughout this kill, you will see me using regular prayers with this amulet. At the beginning of your kill, if you want some adrenaline boost, attack the minion and then use defense and shield abilities. Escape or Surge will also work boosting your adrenaline. Then proceed to attack Nex. Let Nex come out of the middle to you to avoid being charged by her no escape attack. Also be sure to rotate using Anticipation and Freedom wisely to avoid her dragging you and stunning you throughout the beginning of this kill. Once Nex calls the first minion, switch to range and kill it as quickly as possible. Nex will then move on to her next phase, which is the Shadow phase. During this phase you want to pray Protect from range and go ahead and use your ultimate Metamorphosis. This is the only ultimate I use while maging Nex. This will help phases go a lot quicker and smoother, especially Blood phase. After the beginning of this phase, every 5 attacks Nex will spawn a shadow underneath you, which can hit you very hard. Be sure you avoid these in order to last throughout the kill.
Something's getting in the way, something's just about to break. I will try to find my place in the diary of day.
Once Nex calls the second minion and you kill him, she will then move on to the Blood phase, which is the most challenging phase for most people who solo. Be sure during the minion kill you stay max adrenaline, that way when Nex does move on to Blood phase, you can quickly use Metamorphosis followed by an adrenaline pot in order to deal more damage. Also be sure throughout Blood phase you melee distance Nex and keep your prayer to protect from magic. Her blood barrage hits do heal her, so if you melee distance she will use them less often. During the Siphon, use your vulnerability spell, which will increase the damage she receives by 10%. However, do not attack her with normal spells during the Siphon, and do not use any damage over time abilities on Nex throughout Blood phase. Use them on the Reavers if you can tag them while she siphons. When Nex demands a blood sacrifice, be sure you get away from her as quickly as you can. You can see I'm using Escape, and that avoids her from hitting me for a 900 to a 1k, which heals her instantly. After Nex calls the third minion, congratulations, you got through Blood phase. Quickly kill the third minion, however, stall Nex until you see her say, "I demand a blood sacrifice." If you tag Nex to start the ice phase after she siphons, she will use her ice prison attack first. However, if you tag Nex after she demands a blood sacrifice, she will use Contain This first, allowing you more time to build adrenaline and get a little more damage in on her. Throughout the ice phase, remember she rotates attacks from Contain This and Die in a Prison of Ice. If you are trapped in the Prison of Ice, it will stun you. So before she uses that attack, use Anticipation. If Anticipation happens to be on cooldown for some odd reason, use Freedom after trapped in the ice. During this phase, I usually camp the shield abilities. I also use Barricade when I'm trapped in the ice to avoid the 4 to 5k hit. Either use Barricade or Immortality as much as you can while trapped in ice. If you have no ultimate available, be sure you're full hit points before this ice attack. And also remember to save your anticipation and your freedom abilities for the ice prisons, otherwise you will not be able to eat during them. After Nex calls the final minion and you kill him, she will then move on to the Zaros phase. It is then your choice to decide whether you want to camp shield and have a longer Zaros phase, but a more guarantee at not dying, or if you have plenty of food to use DPS. If you camp your shield, observe the shield abilities I start using at the end of this kill. I will slow down the clip and zoom in on it. If you decide to DPS, then I strongly recommend after using Concentrated Blast, use Debilitate if it is available, which will reduce her damage for a few seconds. Sadly, the loot for this solo is Brews and Restores. If you do all this effort for Brews and Restores, you will then make this face IRL. However, here is another clip from another GANO solo that actually pays off.
You want me to be feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. Don't know what you're expecting of me, put under the pressure of walking in your shoes. Every step that I take is another mistake to you, and every second I waste is more than I can take. Become so lost. Become so lost.